Well, sir, it's a long story, but we captured the Q-bomb, the most destructive weapon in the world. And we got some prisoners, too. This is Dr. Kirkins, who invented the bomb. This is his daughter, Helen. This is General Snippet. And these are New York policemen. Oh, and this is the bomb. Blithering idiot.
What'd you pay for a ticket?
God, I don't remember. Probably, what, $1, maybe 50 cents. I don't know.
50 cents
Yeah.
to get it.
The Coronet Theater. I'm pretty sure that was the name of it. And when I saw it again recently, I thought, I wonder if it's going to hold up. You know, but it does.
It hangs on the weight of Peter Sellers. I mean, this movie is all on his shoulders. Hi, and welcome to Brit Flix. I'm Paul.
I'm Kelly.
And this is Chuck. And we're going to be talking today about the 1959 classic British film, The Mouse That Roared, starring Peter Sellers.
I saw this film when it came out. I'm born and raised in St. Louis, Missouri, and they had one little movie theater that showed foreign films. I think it was called the Coronet, if I'm not mistaken. This goes kind of far back. I hate to admit it, but I went to see this film. I don't know why I went to see it. Maybe I was influenced by some of the films on late night television that might have been British, but I went to see it, and it was hysterical. I loved it and it really got me into a lot of British films, comedies, you know, from that. But when I saw it again recently, I thought, I wonder if it's going to hold up, you know. But it does.
It really does. It's
it
really,
holds up.
really funny movie.
Yeah.
And the premise is, it's relatively simple. It's a small country in Europe, Grand Fenwick, that we discover on this map that they show you, that it's this tiny little country, and their primary export is this bottle of wine called Grand Fenwick wine.
A small but sturdy local wine with a virile but friendly bouquet. For some obscure reason, the United States has always been the major market for this wine.
And so Fenwick prospers, and they're living well, and everything's wonderful until some evil winery in California creates Grand Enwick and sells it cheaper.
Right.
Stop me if you've heard this.
Is that what we're drinking, Grand Fenwick?
It's so
Enwick.
appropriate. But so they sell it cheaper, and now all of a sudden they're not buying from Fenwick anymore, and now the country's on the brink of disaster and collapse. And the Prime Minister comes up with the idea.
You must remember, the Americans are a very strange people. Whereas other countries rarely forgive anything, the Americans forgive everything.
Yeah, they declare war in the United States, and Sellers plays that ambassador, or the prime minister he plays. He was just so spot on with that thing. I mean, it was just it was brilliant. Yeah. And he's so different. Yeah. I mean, the kid is different.
If many Fenwickians seem to resemble each other, this may perhaps be ascribed to the influence of the founder, who was in every possible way the father of his country.
You're not thinking it's Peter Sellers playing these parts.
No, especially the Queen. You know, he's got her. It's so different. One of our favorite parts in there is the ships, because they rent this. I guess they rent this. They're going to declare war in the United States, so they're going to send an army over, which all they have is arrows, bows and arrows.
And also how they get the army together. This is terrible to do.
And these medieval costumes that they have.
And they're wearing chainmail. Chainmail.
Bows and arrows.
And for the time, it's present day. It's late 50s. So let's say it's 59, and they're wearing chainmail outfits to go to war. From their country, they have to get transportation to Marseille. They take a bus to Marseille, which is the port. They're going to catch the ship to go to the United States, and then they basically get on this barge.
And he gets violently seasick.
Tell the men. I think I'd like to be alone.
Right. The second he walks on, they haven't left the dock yet.
And I like the maps they had. You know, they showed the crossing, and the little map. They had the wind blowing. All that stuff. But our favorites, I think, is when they go by the big ships, like the.
Well, it's the Queen Elizabeth. Of the first
and
one,
they happened. I don't know if you read about. The Queen Elizabeth happened to be in Southampton when they were filming, so they had a chance to film that.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
What's the matter with them? Stay away from. Hey, stop that!
The duck and all these arrows stick in the back, in the back of them. Yeah, and it happens like 2 or 3 times.
That's right. Yeah, because they don't. The guys on our ship don't know any better.
That's right. But they get to America, and there's a air raid drill of some sort.
Right. Well, they land in the port of New York.
Yeah.
And it's completely empty.
That's right.
Which I think is almost worth, for nothing else, to see this movie, is to see a movie where someone comes to New York and nobody's there.
That's right.
And you find out that that they've developed the Q-bomb, and all of New York is doing a bomb test where they've all gotten underground and everyone's hiding out while this this supposed test is going on.
It's got a football. This bomb looks like it's got all these dials and whistles and bells on it.
Yeah, which pays off at the end of why it's in the shape of a football.
That's right, yeah.
Peter Sellers discovers the scientist and his daughter and the bomb, and he comes up with the plan of going, well, let's take them as war hostages.
Oh, you're his daughter. Oh, you better come along as well.
Look, I don't think you know what you're doing.
Helen, no violence, please. The bomb now. Mr. Grand Marshal, please permit me to dismantle it first.
I'm sorry, sir, we haven't time.
How do I carry it?
Carefully.
And then they wind up taking a general and 4 New York police officers back to Fenwick.
That's right. Because the general's such a pain.
And because he kind of goes, well, if we have the bomb, we could actually win this war.
And that's the last thing you want to do.
Put the bomb away somewhere in a dungeon, and the doctor and Miss Perkins can have the rooms next to mine. Would you like orange or tomato juice with your breakfast?
Orange, please.
Orange.
Oh, that's great. And they get him back, and there's an intrigue with the Prime Minister and Tully because he's trying to get the girls what he wants. The Prime Minister wants her,
right?
Basically,
Exactly.
And she's falling in love with Tully, and Tully's falling in love with her.
There's scenes in this movie that just made me think of like the Keystone Cops.
It still is funny today, and his characterizations are just absolutely brilliant. I mean, I was just in awe of his characters. The Prime Minister is so completely different. And I love Tully, and I love the Queen, even though she's not in it very much.
It hangs on the weight of Peter Sellers. I mean, this movie is all on his shoulders.
That was probably one of my first introductions to him in playing multiple characters, which he eventually did in Strangelove, Dr. Strangelove.
I don't know if this was the first of those type of fail-safe, those sort of movies that came along during the late 50s.
As far as comedy goes, probably.
I would think so.
I don't remember too many other comedies that dealt with nuclear weapons.
Yeah, because that's what you think about. It's a very serious subject, but held,
especially at that time.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean,
it was
that's
a
the
real
time when the Cold
War
was on heavy, and people were, still in school, playing duck under the desk in case.
That's right. Stop, drop, and roll.
Yeah, right. And he was still doing nuclear testing.
That's right.
In Nevada and all over the world. So I mean, it was a very, very big deal. So to do a comedy about it, and as the Brits can only do.
Only we know.
So another terrific Brit flick, Mouse That Roared. I really love this movie. It's such a pleasure to go back and see him, and that's why we recommend them.
It's pretty frightening that I saw it when it came out. This is really scary, and you don't have to worry about that. But anyway, but as I said, I'm so glad that it held up, and it is a delightful film.
Really terrific.
God, he was such a talented man. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, we want to thank you for watching. We'd like to do a contest this week. We have a copy of The Mouse That Roared on DVD.
Pretty rare.
If you leave a comment on this video, we will draw a name from a hat, and hopefully you will win a copy of The Mouse That Roared, coming to you from Brit Flix with Kelly, Paul, and Chuck.
We surely enjoyed it as much as we did.
Yeah, it was really terrific. Yeah. So we'll see you next time. I'm Paul.
I'm Kelly.
That's Chuck. We'll see you at the bar.
There you go. All right.
Really good. Yeah.
Do a spit take. Here we are.
That was a perfect thing. Keep rolling. Give me the action again. I just knew we were both going to go after you.
Action.
Hi and welcome. Well, I'm sorry.
Check, please. Oh my gosh, yeah. $2 Chuck up, definitely. Up Chuck, $2 or whatever. You know what we're talking about.
Has it been that long since we've done this show? Here, let's go back to what. Here we go. Okay. And we're the Brit Flix guys.
We're the Brit Flix. Brit Flix guys. There we go.
This is only the first one.
I know.
Somewhere, do we have an ending?
Yes.